Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be playing with a Amazon brush set. This is one of the best-selling brush sets on Amazon. This is from the brand BS Mall, and it is a professional premium synthetic kabuki makeup brush set. And it seriously is an amazing deal. It is $10.99 for a set of 14 brushes, and it has about 4.5 stars out of 19,491 reviews. So I really do think it sounds amazing. 14 brushes, $10.99. If you're looking for a brush set but you don't want anything too fancy, I think that's great. That's like seriously so much cheaper than like one MAC brush. It's like half the price of one MAC brush. So we will definitely put this to the test. The color I got is the rose gold set, and seriously can't beat the prices. 19,491 reviews. All sounds pretty amazing to me. So let's go ahead and dig right into this bad boy. I will try to use as much of these brushes as possible today while I'm just putting my normal face on. All right, they feel pretty good. They look pretty good. Let me unwrap all of them. Okay, so I unwrapped all of them. So these are the face brushes. So on the brushes, it kind of tells you what they're for. Like this is the face flat, face round, face angled, face flat angled. And then this one is face tapered. And they're very thick handles. And then we've got some smaller brushes here. We have a couple like blending brushes. These one actually don't say what they are. They just say the BS Mall on there. But it looks like we have a couple blending brushes. This one's like an angled blending brush. This one's a flat brush for like packing some color on the lid. And then this one looks like a little pencil brush to buff out the under eye. And then we have like a eyeliner brush and some lip brushes and an angled brush with a spoolie. So you really got all the kind of brushes that you need to do a full face. The bristles are pretty soft, but you could definitely see some of them are in like disarray, and some of them have hairs kind of poking out, wanting to come out. But I think they'll get the job done. Some of the logos look really good, and then some of the logos aren't printed that well on it. So I think at first glance, they do feel a little bit on the cheaper side, but let's see how they work on the face. I'm going to go in with the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer. It's SPF 30, and I am the color medium to Annapurna right now. And then I will go in to buff it out with a brush. Okay, so I put it all over my face like this kind of like face paint action, and then I will go in with a brush to buff it all out. To buff this out, I will probably use the face flat brush. All right, that blended that out pretty easily, and the bristles do feel very soft, and I do feel like it evenly distributed all that product and didn't like soak up too much of the product into the brush because the brush is pretty compact. So hey, yeah, I really liked it for that. Next, I will do a little bit of bronzing with some cream bronzer, and I like to use a face angled brush like this one to put on my cream bronzer. Right now, I am using the cream bronzer by Fenty Beauty in the color number 3 Macchiato. I like an angled brush like this so I can really work it into the product and then use it to stamp and buff the bronzer on. All right, this also worked pretty nicely. Definitely some of the bristles were coming off and sticking to my face, but we'll see if that keeps happening. And then just for the sake of trying a different brush, I'm going to use another angled face brush, but this one is the flat one. And this one would be good for a cream blush. I am using the Fenty Cream Blush right now in the color Rose Latte. The cream blushes really are good for the summer because I feel like it is a more natural flush and not too super pigmented. Let's go in and brighten up the under eye a little bit with a little bit of concealer. I have been back on this wagon. This is the Instant Age Rewind Eraser Concealer. This is one that I used to use a lot, but I rediscovered when I did my Amazon Choice series. This is the best and most purchased concealer on Amazon. I'll be sure to link that video below if you haven't checked that one out. But this one's cool because you can just push it up and some of the product comes into the little puff. And then I'm actually going to use one of these flat blending brushes to buff out the under eye. Usually I use a beauty blender or something like that, but I just want to see how one of these work. I actually really love that. That made the finish of the concealer look very natural. I love that. This one made it really natural when I buffed it out with a brush. I like that finish. And just to make sure that that cream concealer doesn't move anywhere, my absolute so stoked. I recently purchased this in the Sephora spring sale. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Powder in Fair. And I'm just going to go in with the same brush and just lightly go in there so I can set the under eye. Love it. This powder does not make the under eye look cakey. It always keeps it set. It doesn't make the concealer do anything weird, and it just brightens up that under eye very naturally. Love this. All right, let's do some brows. I am a little bit nervous about the brows using this. This is the only kind of like thin angled brush that they have in the set. But then if you can see, the angle isn't perfect. Some of the bristles are actually a little bit longer than the others in the center, but I might even need to like trim it or so. Okay, I just used some cuticle blenders to trim it because there was a couple of the hairs that were a little bit longer in the center. You guys know I love the MAC Matte Eyeshadow Espresso to fill in my brows. So I'm just going to use this angled brush and dip it into the eyeshadow and then draw in faux brow hairs. Okay, so for first impressions, I kind of like it. So this is a little bit of a thinner angled brush, like it's not as wide as the ones that I'm used to, so I feel like I can even do better detail work with it. And the bristles are kind of the perfect mix of soft and firm, and it works really well with the texture of the eyeshadow. And so yeah, I was a little bit nervous at first because I'm usually pretty particular with my eyebrows and the brushes that I use, but so far I really like this. And there's a spoolie on this end, so I'm going to just brush it out a little bit to sometimes that helps even out the color a little bit. Sometimes the brow can appear a little bit darker in certain areas because of the eyeshadow. But yeah, okay, I was nervous because you guys know the brows are very important to me, and I will feel very just discombobulated if I'm having a bad brow day, but I am kind of impressed. I will definitely continue to use some of these brushes so far. Okay. All right, next, so we can play with some of the eyeshadow brushes. I'm going to do just a quick little eye look, nothing too crazy because, you know, it is just a weekday. We're not trying to get too crazy right now. But I recently got this in one of my boxy charms. This is the Violet Voss Essential Pro Series eyeshadow. The colors are really, really, really pretty. First, I'm gonna go in with the color Sand with this fluffy blending brush, and I'm just going to blend this in the crease first. This blending brush is a little bit smaller and tapered than I like, so I'm actually going to try this one. It's a little bit fluffier and slightly angled, and we'll see how that one works. Okay, I'm gonna go back to that first blending brush that's a little bit more tapered, and I'm going to go in with the color Terracotta in the outer corner. Okay, next with the same brush, I'm going to go in with a little bit of the color Cinnamon, and just to darken up the outer corner. Okay, so overall, these brushes are working really well. They're blending very nicely. And next, I am going to go in with this brush. It's a little bit of a smaller flat brush, and I'm going to dip that into the gold and then put that on the lid to pack a little bit of sparkle and color there. I'm just gonna go back in with one of these brushes, and I'm gonna go back into sand and a little bit of terracotta just to buff out that and blend it in. Right, next, I'm going to go in with this pencil buffer brush, and I'm going to just put a little bit of color underneath the under eye and use similar colors that I used on the top. So at first I'm going to go in with the terracotta, and then after the terracotta I'll use a little bit of the cinnamon to darken the outer corners. Alright, and then I'm going to use one of these smaller angled brushes, use this and go into the black eyeshadow and just do a little liner action. Alright, this brush worked really well for the liner in the black eyeshadow. Okay, so far pretty impressed with the eyeshadow brushes. They worked really well, nice and blended. And last but not least, I'm going to go in with round face brush, and I'm just going to use a little bit of my It Bye Bye Pores Pressed Translucent Powder. I'm just going to lightly dab some of the shiny areas to set in my nose. And with the same face flat angled brush that I used for the cream blush, I am going to set with a little bit of powder blush. This is the Patrick Ta in She's Seductive. So similar color, but a powder version. Then I'm going to top my brows with a little bit of brow gel with the Milk Makeup Kush Fiber Brow Gel in the color Grind. Alright, I'm going to finish off my lashes and lips off camera, and I will be back with final thoughts. Alright everyone, I am back. So I just put on some lashes and a little bit of mascara underneath the under eye, and I also did a lip. This is one of my favorite lip combos right now. I am using the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk in the lip liner and the lipstick, and I topped with my absolute favorite gloss right now. This is the City Lips Plumping Lip Gloss in the color Pink Nude. I also have this in clear that I wear daily if I'm not wearing any sort of lip color. But seriously, you guys, I've been wearing this plumping gloss for about little over a month now, and I do feel the difference in my lips. They come in a ton of different colors, so definitely give that a try. But I do have a discount code for you guys, so if you guys wanted to go to citybeauty.com and use the code Carmen25 at checkout, you will get 25% off your entire order. So definitely go check that out. I will be linking everything that I used in the description box below, but my final thoughts for the brushes is that it seriously is a great bang for your buck. I can't believe all 14 of these brushes are $10.99. I do understand the really great reviews because it definitely gets the job done. It does feel a little bit on the cheaper end of things when it comes to like the quality and just like the general feel of the brush, but it definitely gets the job done. It blended my eyeshadow beautifully. I will continue to use a lot of these brushes, but the only thing that I would note that since this is a kabuki brush set, there aren't going to be a lot of like fluffy brushes, so I found myself wanting a fluffy brush to use for powder all over. There isn't really a brush that is fluffy for bronzer or blush, but a lot of these are great for the eyeshadow, and then a lot of these are great for cream products for the face. If you're kind of new to makeup and you are looking for a complete total brush set for you to use and play around with makeup, you seriously can't beat it. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Again, I will link everything in the description box below for you to check out. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring that notification bell so you are notified when I post my next video. But as always, please be sure to take care of yourselves and each other, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!